We live.
I still don't believe you.
Mic check. One, two.
I probably need to turn
I
my
sit when I go
lights.
number one and number two.
Hmm.
Got this huge ass picture of these days.
Where's my?
Oh my god, it's so big.
Oh, there we go. I guess that looks okay. I actually don't look bad for once.
You look good. Look like you got some sun in Chicago.
Did not. It's when I turn the lights off, I get all sparkly.
Shout out to Apophis UK, the largest man in the United Kingdom.
How do you get so big in the UK?
Bro, it's fucking straight up organ meat.
It's got to be that.
They're like,
Fucking tired.
Yeah, so Wyatt thinks he got COVID.
Oh, did you take a test?
Nah. I don't even know how to get one.
Oh,
Which makes sense, right? So here's our theory right now. Matt is immune to COVID. This is a fact now. And we have enough data to support that. And so I don't get COVID at Adepticon, but I keep getting it at LVO, right? So the first time I got COVID, Matt was in the same room as me. Demeki was in the same room as me and Bricky the whole weekend, right? Matt doesn't get it. I get it. Bricky gets it. Demeki doesn't get it, but we're all pretty sure he's the one who gave it to us, which is why he didn't get it. Right?
Okay.
So, going with that theory. Then I go to Adepticon. I take all these precautions. I don't get COVID. I'm like, yeah, I did it. Right? But other people did. And so then LVO 2.0. I get COVID again. Matt doesn't get COVID. Right? Interesting. So then, but I only saw Arthur a little bit in the last, like a little bit that weekend. He only showed up at the end. So he's doesn't factor in. I go to Adepticon again, don't get COVID. Right? And Matt doesn't get it because he's immune. But Wyatt's feeling really sick. Greg was fucking out of the commission. And I talked to Arthur today and he sounds like he's dead.
Oh, he's got something bad?
His throat is jacked, dude. He sounds bad.
Oh, well, that might not be COVID.
So I'm starting to think. So I'm starting to think is like I get it every January, so my antibodies keep me immune. And like I'm immune in March. So like I just got it. My immune system is at the height of its. So like that's so I think the only reason I'm not getting COVID in March is because I get it in fucking January every year.
Oh, I see. So you still have the antibodies, is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if
right.
I don't know if I got COVID or not. Like, I didn't have any respiratory issues other than like,
But if you got like a regular ass cold, I would have got that shit and be dead.
yeah, I don't know. Because like
Colds fuck me up.
the Saturday after the doubles and Sunday, I woke up and my throat, my nose was like pretty jacked up, but I felt better by the afternoon.
Huh.
And I haven't had any respiratory issues since, but I have felt extremely fatigued since
Very-
coming back on Monday.
Very COVID like.
So
You know, now that I think about it, I think something happened to me on Saturday. Like
You were
I
like
was
in
down.
you were like in
Yeah.
the bed the whole day.
yeah,
Yeah.
till like 3 or 4 o'clock.
Yeah, you were
I
fucked.
feel like you like ran into Brad Chester like a dungeon boss and you rolled a natural one.
I did
And
roll.
he was just like booze magic and you got like the worst fucking hangover of your life.
I definitely ran into Brad Chester and a couple other folks. I don't remember much after that.
no, it's
Who you
hilarious.
posted on Facebook.
I go into your room and I'm like, Rob, are you okay? You're like, "Ugh."
You
doing
saw
that?
I had that glass of wine in
Bro,
the room.
Bro,
Yeah.
this is how it goes down. So like when Rob is obliterated, it's like he's a stroke victim. His face muscles no longer work. So it's like every face muscle like that. And I'm like, you all right? He's like,
I forget how to smile.
everything's he just can't use any of his muscles. He looks fucked. He looks
Yep.
obliterated. I was like, what happened
I was
last night?
like-
He's like, I don't know. I was like, where were you? He's like, I don't know. Who are you with? He's like, I don't know. And then I go into the room and Wyatt's like, he posted on Facebook. He was with Brad Chester last night. Here it is.
Yeah, he was
Literally,
like, you posted on Facebook, like, Brad, I drank all your shots and I stole your wine.
Oh yeah, so he went to the bar and he bought a bunch of shit and then he just walked away and disappeared. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
He's a fucking agent of chaos, dude.
and I'm like,
He fucked you up.
okay. So I drank them all.
yeah. Hey, you
That
were,
was not.
bro, it was bad. I was like, what do you need? You need like, man, you were just knocked the fuck
I didn't know
out.
how to help you. I was like
I just
I
had
was
to
like
work it
looking
out.
around in the little kitchen that we had. I was like trying to look in the
I mean, like
cabinets
around
and
3
drawers and, like-
p.m., 4 p.m., he was like, I was like, you want something to eat? And he was like, hamburger, no bun, fries. And then he was like, ketchup, please. And he was back out. Shout out to Recoil tuning in. James Teal over on YouTube says, clickbait? Nah.
Oh, I was gonna give you a great title for this one. Damn it.
Turbo T, what's up over on Twitch? Garrett on the tubes says, I know this is old news, but Rocky Mountain Open was fun. Lost round 1 on Warhammer Live Patreon stream. James says, yes, you are live. Oh, this is old stuff. Good
Is
looking
this
dice.
live? Are we live?
Greetings from Disflux. 1+7 says, Lewis rolled the long war dice against me, and his first 2 rolls were 1s, and his next 2 were 6s. Perfectly balanced dice, confirmed. Kara Quinn, free from the government. Get 4 for nothing. Nurgle Matthew tuning in. What's up, man? He's on. He comes in on YouTube, says a bunch of nonsense. Then he shows up on Twitch and throws up a bunch of emotes.
We all got jobs at John Silver's.
Got to pick up that seasonal shift work, dog. They offered me the manager position, guys. Like I quit on Lent, wow. And then they offered me a position to come back, manager position. I said that's the only thing I'd take, and I came back. But then little did I know they only wanted me back because they were short staffed and they needed someone to run the outdoor booth at the bike festival. So I was frying fish outside in the Florida sun all morning.
Yeah, that sounds really, really good. Not hot at all.
I've gotten tons of DMs with these Long John Silver titles. People are like, "Hey man, I heard you quit your job at Long John Silver's. Congratulations! I assume you went full time hobby." It's like, yeah, man, thanks. I
You finally made it,
I
dude.
posted I made manager, and somebody was like, "Bro, congratulations!" I was like, "Thanks, man. It's my favorite restaurant."
Hey, did you get? Let me give you that link for the dice.
I've got it. Oh wait, you're the one who posts links.
Oh,
I don't do
yeah,
that.
good point.
I
All right, here.
I can screen share a browser. Let's see here. Window. It's up there. I just threw it up on the screen so people can see like the Longward dice from
There we go.
Adepticon are up for sale. The links in the chat. These are exclusive to the event. How many did you say were left?
I don't know.
Like not that many.
Not that not that many because we didn't start out with that many. We just
Yeah.
had extras from.
There's extras from what was ordered for the event. So they're extremely limited quantity.
Maybe like 20 sets.
Maybe. I just kind of put them all in that box and haven't opened the box again, except for the one set I put in my bag that
When
remember
I
to
saw
put-
the box, I was like, it's probably around 20 sets.
This is it. This is the only time we'll do them in this color. Was it tiger eye, tiger stripe? It's a good color. Got 'em
It's a
right
good
here.
color.
Yeah, it's
So-
a really good color.
We got a Facebook user. I can't see his name because Facebook, but he says I used to trick my kid into eating there, Long John Silver's, instead of
Oh, no.
McDonald's. I used to say it was pirate food. Nice. You're a terrible father.
That's just fucking up. All right.
One Plus Saves says I carried that box for Felix to get my ride to Portillo's.
No one rides for free.
Got to carry this box of dice. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of shout outs on the podcast proper tonight. The event
Yeah.
was a banger. 256 players, full force. Filled the like 3-4 empty slots off the wait list, and we had like 2 drops throughout the entire event. Oh my god, Felix just sent me a picture.
What kind of picture?
He's literally a selfie from within Long John Silver's.
Oh, man.
He did it.
Oof.
He fucking did it. It's the first time someone actually had the balls to do it.
I tried to go in that one, but it was closed down. It wouldn't let me in.
Is he watching this right now? He must be.
He's probably the Facebook user.
I'm asking. I just asked him.
He's got to be.
It's got to be. Nothing wrong with all you can eat shrimp question full. Like that is inherently wrong.
Yeah.
That's inherently no.
Oh, man. I spent like all day today getting stuff set up, like new utilities, new insurance, getting the AT&T stuff ready for the move.
Moving on the 5th.
Yeah.
Recoil says there's 2 less dice packs now.
Probably gonna
shit.
break down the desk
Thank you.
tomorrow since the dudes are flying in Thursday anyways. I won't be available for the podcast.
Next Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Because next Friday is when I move, right?
Oh
So
damn.
everybody's flying in the Thursday, then we're leaving Friday morning.
Oh man, I might have to. People are buying these things. I might have to go count them.
You might need to go count them.
Make sure we don't oversell. All right, just get your orders in now. I'm gonna go grab the box.
Count them out.
Making me do work.
Yeah,
It's
so
fine.
Felix is in there. He says it's technically a KFC combo. So it's not an OG. So you get half points, Felix, but you are the only person who actually stepped in one and take the selfie. But if someone could get inside of one of those OG standalones and take a picture, I'll give you money. Did any of the players have any drama last weekend, Garrett?
No.
Well, no, they kicked
No.
people out that weren't battle ready painted.
Oh, I mean, at our event.
I can't speak to
Oh,
the
not at
greater-
our, but
I
at
mean-
champs they did.
The champs was clown shoes, but the Adepticon champs is every year that I've been aware of Adepticon's existence, the 40K champs has always been clown shoes. So it's
I don't think there was any issues the last 2 years, but they definitely wouldn't let people in the top 16 if they weren't at least battle ready, which I kind of agree with.
No, I fully agree with. I mean, like Kicker released their update to the floor rules, like as a reiteration, previous to this, where they were going to be enforcing that heavily after the fiasco of the Thousand Suns player on camera with like literally just black models with some silver dry brushing or some shit. No, I mean Adepticon champs has been historically not as competitive as the rest of the other events because they've historically operated outside of the ITC, while the ITC has dominated the way competitive play has existed for almost a decade. So Adepticon, like for a while, remained an island. So whereas we all agree that this is competitive, they didn't. They did it a different way, and most people said that shit sucked. But a lot of weird meta came out of Adepticon every year because of the way they did rules. Like we got FAQs. I mean, like Tide Traders got FAQ'd because of Adepticon. How many Flying Hive Tyrants you can have in an army got FAQ'd because of Adepticon. Adepticon was like historically a test bed for shenanigans because of their different rule set. Well, in recent years, they have adopted the ITC format, and then now we all play the GW format. So I feel like a lot of the clown shoesness of Adepticon is just like the historical precedent that is now like dwindling because they're playing the same game we're playing with the same problems with judges that like LVO has. But I think they had a packed event, 256 players. They got new terrain. It's not perfect. They're playing GW layout on GW layout-esque terrain. But
well, actually, theirs is what I feel it should be. There was only one dispute, like one judge's dispute at our event, and it was because of the terrain. And if you guys know the Leviathan layout, there are certain sections that are supposed to be 2-inch wall sections, like little ruin wall sections. Some of the tables at Adepticon in those squares, they had connexes, like the little shipping containers.
Because not every table had the right one.
So that was kind of Adepticon cutting corners, but the way you were supposed to play those is as 2-inch wall sections, right?
And there was confusion because not everyone read that.
Yes, and the important distinction that I have with Leviathan terrain is I think the layout is fine if the terrain is done the way that GW intended. It makes the layout make sense. It gives maneuverability to medium to larger monsters and vehicles, and it makes terrain have a risk reward because terrain on the GW tables is not a big solid rectangle wall. It's like 3/4 of the footprint is filled up and there's like windows and doors, if that makes sense. Like every ruin is actually a ruin, like there's big chunks missing out of it. And so a lot of independent tournaments are using third-party terrain companies to do their stuff, and they are skewing towards not having 2-inch wall sections, which is bad, and also every rectangle basically being a magic box where it's It's not like the old definition of a magic box, like a cube, but it is 3 wall sections and a roof, no windows, no doors, which is a very different like visibility and a very different vibe than what Leviathan Pack is supposed to be.
I think the problem is that refreshing this terrain year after year after year is a burden for a lot of businesses and organizations.
Yeah. But
And
GW doesn't care because they also are a terrain company. Which is
right.
again one of the reasons why I'm like, if you guys are independents, like you guys should be not adopting GW's way of thinking because it only fucks you.
Well,
I mean, like that.
what
Rob's point, like you have to refresh the terrain, and none of that matters. None of that cost, none of that burden matters if you just play player optimized. If you play player
Exactly,
placed,
yeah.
it doesn't matter. GW layout only works in this perfect world where the terrain on the table is a perfect emulation of the terrain in a Leviathan book, which has never been done outside of a GW event.
right.
No one has ever had.
I would
those
say
pieces.
Adepticon was the closest because I'm pretty sure they were using GW terrain for like every table, like actual GW plastic. Which is like kudos to them because that is an undertaking and that is a pretty big financial investment, assuming that GW didn't help them out in any way, which they could have. And if you're making MDF terrain, that's fine. Like I don't have some vendetta against third-party companies. I want third-party companies to flourish, but my thing is if you're copying the GW layout, you kind of have to make your MDF terrain function the same way as far as like the rules interaction of the game goes. Because if you're using the Leviathan thing, but you're cutting out the 2-inch wall sections,
You're just if you're just showing up with the templates of the occupied space of said terrain pieces,
but you're
that's
putting huge magic boxes on them and you don't have those 2-inch wall sections like you're supposed to, it actually doesn't function the same way.
Mhm.
And if you don't have those sections, because the biggest thing about them is it gives permission for monsters and vehicles to move through them as if they weren't there.
Yeah, that's
So
the
it
whole point of
allows
them.
maneuverability.
Yeah.
And if you cut that out, it vastly changes how the game is played and like what is functional on those layouts. And also, if the ruins are magic boxes, there's no risk reward for occupying that space anymore. And it creates kind of like what we used to hate about the old ITC terrain, which was you can just have these huge like swaths of like units and infantry and whatever the fuck sitting inside those magic boxes being non-interactable. And what does that give rise to? The two things that ignore that, like indirect artillery and airplanes. And what if everybody always hated indirect and fucking airplanes, right? And people get the feels bads when it's like, okay, well, I'm playing World Eaters and you can't interact with my army until I charge you and touch you in your beehole and I win the game. Like, nobody likes that. And yet they are dick writing this thing so fucking hard. And like, that's what all the terrain looks like. So I don't know what to tell you.
Except at Adepticon, you're right. They did like most of the like half the tables had the visual correctness to it, and the other half had the box in place of it. But it did say in the packet that these were 2 inches. So we only had that come up I think once at our event, where someone was like, "How do these work?" And we had to tell them that they're the 2-inch piece.
I was not listening because I'm trying to coordinate getting
Quantities.
scores and things to another event that we participate in, and it's the arbitrariness of
Why is it happening? Why does that happen right now?
because it's everything happens when it has to happen. That's just how life works for us. People need things now, and you got to give it to them now. So
Recoil, I think, mentioned, I don't know if this is accurate. He said when he added these to his quantity, it said there was only 5 for the dice.
yeah, so I was gonna go downstairs. I did.
Oh, so you just changed it so that nothing bad can happen.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't want to oversell. So how many? Is there any left? Might not be any left. I don't know. I know we got more. I just don't know exactly how many. Here, I'm gonna put a few more in stock and go count them. So there's a few more left. If y'all want to snag them, we'll get them. We'll get them all on the mount tomorrow, or whenever y'all buy them.
Link in the chat. Just throw it in there for you. Oh, Wyatt and Rob's names are.
See, like, 1+A, that's the thing. It's like the terrain needs to have, like, it needs to. If it's a ruin, it needs to be a ruin, right? Because that gives risk reward for occupying the terrain. Because the negative aspect is when people can sit in terrain all game and not be interacted with. It's like if you want it to be MDF, so it's a different style than like GW Gothic Ruins, like 100% go for it. I'm all for that. The problem is the magic boxes. Gravity, yeah, dude, I'm the same way. Like, if it baffles me that like they don't make a decision like that. Like, if I was in charge, right? If I was James Workshop, I would 100% make a like Champions Edition, what call it whatever, right? Champions Edition set of terrain that is the standardized tournament layout terrain, and sell it as like a box bundle. And can you imagine how much money the Games Workshop would make? So they would sell out instantly.
Well,
Like,
well, see, so here's the problem with terrain. Their terrain is traditionally produced overseas because it's big, it's bulky. And traditionally it's just better off for them to make in China, and that increases the cost. And they tend to do terrain as kind of like these one-off like bundle things, right?
yeah,
So terrain isn't, while it's cool and they sell it, it doesn't seem to have ever been their main focus. And they almost, and this is the other thing, like if you're a game store, you get a certain amount of credit each calendar year to spend on things. And generally they, I don't say require you, but they encourage you to spend it on terrain kits so that it kind of like sells their terrain kits, but not really sells it, because you kind of pay for it with this credit they sort of give you for being a good store.
yeah. I
So
mean,
like,
we're assuming that they would want to do something like this in good faith, right? And the whole terrain thing is not really something that they do that way, right? Because also the thing is, the terrain they have so far produced is not made to be like a table standardized set for any type of organized play. It's always like a kind of like build it yourself modular sort of setup, like Lincoln Logs, where they're like, it could look like this, or it could look like one of 15 other modulations of the same pieces to make whatever you want. Whereas if they made a like organized play set, or like a Champions Edition, or like a Games Workshop Open Edition set of terrain, they could make so much fucking money, dude. And then like think about it too. It's like if you want to monetize it even more, you'd be like, this is the 2024 edition. And it's like, we're coming out with what you're used to, Gothic Ruins. Cool. Next year, it's all Eldar themed, right? This is the 2025 Champions Edition, and all of those terrain sets are Eldar themed. Then they could do Chaos themed, they could do Tau themed, they could do Orc themed. Like, oh my god, they can make so much fucking money, but they won't because they're dumb.
Well, they got to convince a bunch of people, which has been historically their problem now, that it's valuable to sink capital into this move. And they're perfectly happy with their other things that they're doing that are not miniatures to get that profit. So they will never convince anyone of this. So therefore, it's up to us. What we need is what's the pop-up terrain I like now?
Squad mark stuff.
Squad marks, goddamn it, I love that shit.
Oh, the cardboard terrain we played with.
We need that terrain
This
in
shit was
GW
tight.
layout. Holy fuck, that shit's amazing,
Which was tight.
bro. Magnetic, everything, dude. It fits in my back. It fits in my Jansport. The whole table.
like a whole
And
like we had more than we needed. in that
people
bag.
walked by. Yeah, we did. People walked by and they were like, "Why does your table look so much better than everyone else's? Like, our shit looks so sick, dude."
Well, first off, both of our armies were painted. Like there was
No, somebody
I don't
asked about
know.
the terrain. They're like, "Why do you guys have good terrain? Everyone has shit terrain." Because
oh,
Matt
it's
lent
just
us a
'cause
squad
what
mark.
was set out, Like it was pretty obvious that Adepticon had moved like their old and busted shit out into the open play area, and all of the good stuff was for the competition tables.
Bro, so the
Oh,
squad.
well, I mean, that makes
squad
sense.
squad marks need to come out with the layout set, dude. Because that shit is shockingly sturdy, dude. We were putting. I had possessed guys on the
Yeah.
top floor. We were putting guys on the magnetic fucking layers. Everything, man.
Yeah.
No problems. It is the literal best thing I've ever used. I'm never buying actual terrain again. I'm only using squad marks from here on out. Like, it's fucking incredible.
They do sell also the cutouts, the acrylic cutouts, the clear acrylic cutouts
For the layout thing.
yeah, for the Leviathan layouts. So like,
Oh shit, yeah.
I mean, in theory, you could buy the pop up or the magnetic train,
And put them on
then-
the acrylic sheets.
right,
Yeah.
and then just put and they're clear, so you could still see the whatever mat or
Yeah, no,
whatever
I'm
you
doing
wanna
that.
use.
Like I'm doing
Oh,
that.
to that
It's
point,
my life.
I gotta give like some fucking applause
Dice are sold
to
out.
Adepticon. They did something that I haven't seen anyone else do with the Leviathan layouts, and they used the same or maybe even like some sturdier like neoprene screen printed stuff for their rectangles that was the same color as the mats.
That was tight.
Because so this is just me. I'm sure not everybody has this problem. This is me. When I look at the clear acrylic squares for the Leviathan stuff for GW placement, I have trouble making my brain understand that the footprint is what counts for obscuring. Because
Yeah,
as we have been trained our entire lives, if I look at a glass window, I see through it. Thus, it's like I see through it. It's not there, right? So when I'm playing on a table that has those clear acrylic pieces, I constantly think that like the terrain
You
is
fuck,
what matters.
yeah, you fuck your line of sight up. You set up shops wrong.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where people are like, "You can't see me," and I'm like, "Why?" And they're like, "Oh, well, the square is right here." I'm like, "Oh, fuck."
The
It's like-
invisible square. Got it.
yeah. But with those mats, it's like you can't. I don't know. I like that. I thought it looked cooler because they blend in with the table that they're on. It's the same print. Like I just thought it was neat.
I'm with that. Yeah, so Crush and Full heard me talking about the squad marks. Yeah, dude, get them. Like when I will never have a shelves of terrain ever again. I will have a drawer full of 3 different options that if you take them out of the box they come with, they sit in a big Ziploc bag. That shit will literally will comfortably fit in your backpack, like as if like this. It took up the same amount of space my laptop did in my backpack, and so we had a whole table of terrain in our backpack. We walked downstairs with our 2 army cases, and we set up a table and played and packed it up and went back upstairs like nothing, dude. Shit is incredible.
Is that the only stuff they have, or they have different? I'm gonna look it up. Battle ready terrain. Because I was gonna say, like, if they were gonna do the Leviathan layout, they might want to have some slightly different shapes.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
definitely.
make something bespoke to sit on those
I'm
rectangles.
I'm assuming I think that's what Rob said they had. Subs.
Well, I'm looking at their page right now, and it's I mean it's pretty much what we played on, and those smaller to medium sized buildings are cool, but they're still like solid wall L shapes at the end of the day,
Yeah, they're not GW. It doesn't matter because we play player plays. Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, none of this matters to us. Subversion says, hello, my first time checking out this live chat. I mainly paint more than play. Welcome to the YouTube audience. It's probably a ghost town over there. Like 23 people. That's about right.
Yeah.
Like, do I have a?
No, you're
do
all
I
right.
have a
You're
pen
okay, brother. Like we're on
around
multiple
here?
platforms.
Do I have a pencil around here? I was like trying
There's-
to create like a visual aid of what I'm talking about.
So like, on one side you have something like that's just a box, and then so what we would need is something. So like right here, this is the profile of what you see a lot of companies doing. So when you look at it, it's a box, right? And when a unit is in there, you can't see them. Over here is what we need, because it's not exactly the same, but this is like an approximation of what the Games Workshop tables look like, where like 3/4 of the rectangle is filled up, but it is in fact a ruin. So only like a very small squad of infantry can actually sit in there and still hide. And even sometimes there might be a door and a window in this piece of terrain as well.
So it's risk reward. You got to step up and be seen to do the action. So there's a trade.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think you could do that with the Squad Marks production process. It's just it needs to be a different shape than a flat wall.
There is 23 sets of dice. I think we've sold. I think there's 10 left, or maybe. Let me recount. We don't have many left.
So guys,
So-
right here during the course of
got
the
it.
show, the Adepticon exclusive dice sets, which there's a limited quantity of.
Oh my god, look at that!
This is
Like
it. This is it. Look at
absolutely.
these stacks.
I'm more interested in that like super deluxe cat chair that you have down there. Like what a king's throne that Andy has.
Oh yeah, that's called
Sarah.
Big Joe. That's Big Joe down there. That'll support a human.
I need to get one of those for my cats.
Cats love that chair. The bigger the cat, the more they love it.
I posted
I do
that.
have
I
a
posted
chunk.
that link back in the chat. Rob's saying there's only 10 left.
Nice.
We
Yo,
used we
so-
sold some merch at the event, but then we used it to buy Chick-fil-A.
I bought this really.
And steal Brad Chester's booze.
You should have seen Arthur's face, because he was like he could not understand why I felt the need to be reimbursed for lunch. And I was like, dude, I didn't buy lunch for like 3 people. I bought lunch for like 15 grown men. So the ticket was like $300. And he was like, there's no way that Chick-fil-A order was $300. And I was like, yeah, it was. Like I bought like 20 sandwiches and 10 sets of fries, dude. Like
Right.
Oh, we sold another one.
Nope, it's happening.
Put
Watch.
this-
Look
put
at
this
Rob.
one over
Look
here.
at Rob.
There it is. Goes in that stack. That's tomorrow's stack. It's a dice cam.
Damn. Big Poppy says, is Rob trying to FOMO me to buy a second set?
Yeah.
hey, if it works for
Is it-
UW, it'll work for us.
Yeah, seriously.
We're out here trying to get paid.
We got to pay Chick-fil-A. We bought like food for everybody that helped
Oh yeah.
the event.
That's why I was 15 grown men. I got
fries.
I ate my fill.
Yeah, I got fries. I gotta probably get some news together too.
All right. Well,
Let's get
let's
some
let's
news
start on
together.
that. We'll remind you guys again during the actual recording of the podcast. We're going to start here in a minute. And then this is going to go out, and so the 9 sets that are left will probably be gone at 9 a.m. on Friday.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
So
I mean, people listen to this not live.
yeah. So this is kind of like the pre-sale right now, because when this goes live, this is gonna be it. There's no way if you're on the fence, you're waiting. There ain't gonna be no waiting, man. You
We're
guys,
definitely
you guys,
not
you
doing
got
this color again.
the viewers are Project May. You guys are the Project Mayhem freestyle right here. Zaywizzy says that he bought 2 sets and some prints.
I saw that
did
order. Thank you.
Did the Juggernaut make it back to
Yeah, he's
Florida?
fine. Perfect. Perfect
cool.
condition. Oh, the plus size long war shirts. Z, God, Zaweezy.
Zawizzy.
I
Wheezy.
don't think we have any.
No, I told him
shirts
I can make 6Ls on a different shop.
Oh,
I can go all the way up to 6. I think I can go up to 7 on all overs, even. So just find me if you can just DM me on Facebook, Wheezy, just like my personal account. Just go in there and like send me like a DM message if we're not already friends. Just yeah, it's me.
give me that shirt.
You know, and I'll just put I'll do a one off through my shop in my fulfillers for you. We don't list those because like the profit margin is awful on the brands that do list up to 6X and 7X. So oh, they do crush it full. I have several clients that who I do one offs for. I had to do a 4X or no, a 5X tall for somebody. You know how hard that is to get sorted?
Dude, next year I need to play in the Rumble Slam tournament. It looks so much fun.
Oh, they had a tournament?
They had one last year too.
Oh, wow.
Guys are like dressing up. They have a belt.
Yeah, of course they do.
I mean, we need to step our belt game up because their belt looks better than our belt.
Yeah, we need to go with the
They have. I'm sure they use that,
the belt
that
shop.
service.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
because it's an actual like piece of brass that's like etched and like
Oh, yeah.
riveted to the leather.
It's like
Yeah.
aluminum. It's like aluminum painted hard plastic is what it is. Like on their website, it's like
I am.
yeah. We
I'm
need
here
that.
for that.
We're gonna update that. We're gonna upgrade to that. You're right. It's time to upgrade. So a
Well,
couple
we
more.
can't be buying Chick-fil-A next year if we do that.
That's fair. So let's.
I mean, that came out of my pocket. I can afford it.
I mean, and then your
Didn't you-
pocket was reimbursed by our petty cash,
Yes.
so it came out of the Long Wars pocket.
Yeah.
That's what Rob is saying. Which is belt money.
I mean, to be fair, all of that petty cash was literally from people who were late signups and people who just like bought swag at the event.
Yeah, that's how we make our money, dude. That's literally that's like almost the entire income stream of this podcast.
Yeah, but it wasn't from the people like all the other people who bought tickets and shit.
oh, we don't make money.
No, that
on
goes to Adepticon.
Yeah, we don't make that money.
Oh
Did
my
you,
God.
did you
Okay.
think we made that money?
What deal have you guys signed? You don't get a cut of that at all?
No.
Oh my
We're
God.
volunteers, dude. You thought we made money here?
Yeah, who have I hitched my wagon to, man?
Bro, look at your PayPal account. Look at all the times you've gotten money. You've been paid. That should tell you the story. It's a sad story.
All right. Well, next time Rob can buy lunch for everyone.
We're broke, dog.
Yeah.
That's why Rob.
The
That's
long-
why.
the
That's
long
why
war
Rob's
exists.
doing that little magic game where he's trying to create FOMO with everyone, dude.
I mean, to be fair, the long war exists so we don't have to come out of pocket.
Which
do
is
this
exactly
shit.
what happened.
Like, because the podcast hosting, the video hosting, just expenses, like it adds up.
Like we present like we work there. Like we come in like we know what we're supposed to be doing. Like we're like a super important VIPs.
Oh yeah,
Dog,
I know.
we
Like,
are-
without me and Arthur, it'd be a shit show.
Yeah, we're just straight up volunteers, dog. And that's the whole idea. Is like we don't want to run a convention. That's ridiculous.
No,
We don't want to front any of that shit. That's nonsense.
the people that do it well.
What we want to do is hitch to somebody else who already has that and provide
Mhm.
and slot in for a sick event.
I have been talking to Steven, and he's pretty confident that he wants long war doubles at Cali Cup 2025.
That'd be sick. Give me an excuse to come out to fucking Cali a couple times a year. Oh yeah, that's like our side deal sub is that like we don't have a booth, but they're like if you sell things at the judge table, we won't say anything. That's kind of like that's like our bump. That's like our deal. All right, so you want
I'm still getting unused together.
okay?
I spent a lot of time on the dice. It's okay though. Now we know. Now we know how many we got. I'm gonna put.
And I think we did get like a cut of the longboard mats at LVO, like because we designed those and had that slotted in, so we got a cut of that, which is similar to like we get a cut of these dice, right? So it's like so any monies we do make at these events are based on the extracurricular physical prizes that people walk away with, like built into their ticket sale. So like that's like our cut.
I mean, it's just a value proposition.
Full
at the end of the
disclosure.
day. Like, it's all about bringing value to the event and making sure people, have fun and get taken care of.
That's right, said long word. Too communist to be capitalist.
Somebody actually complained that they got a dinner break. They're like, man, I wish this would have been done sooner. I was like, but it wasn't.
It was
no
one
rush.
complaint, but it was a weird complaint,
It was no rush.
bro. Because like we have a lot of like built-in trickery. Like where like in one place it says it starts at 8 a.m., one place it says it starts at 9 a.m., and then it actually starts at 10 a.m. So
I mean,
it looks like we should fix it, but when I explained it to Arthur, I was like, no, because here's what happens: the 8 a.m. crew shows up like tryhards. We get them all registered, right? Then the 9 a.m.s show up like tryhards, and they look late, but to them they're on time. And then the final hobos, the super cool kids, they show up at like 9:42, and we get those last guys in. So we kind of stagger registration. He's like, "Oh my god, it's genius." It's like chaos, dude. That's how I operate, son. You just roll with it. Did we
it's
see that
overactive.
Bi painted his bag, Jesco? Yes, sir. He's the goat.
I do think we need to coordinate the times a little better on the emails. I think there was some East Coast Central
It worked.
confusion.
Why fix something that worked perfectly?
Eh,
This is our most
I
successful
think
event.
people getting there at 9. It's okay. Because we're there early, and people are gonna come early if they're gonna come early anyways.
Yeah,
at
but
least
we don't
it
want
looks-
we don't want all of them in line at once at 8, dude. That's crazy.
I mean, if we're there at 8,
you want
that's fine.
No, it's nonsense. Making people stand around like hobos, bro. Let them just chill, get their coffee, show up.
Right, but yeah, I mean, it's fine. We'll
Rob's a taskmaster, dude. I'm like, yo, do whatever you want, man. Just chill. Kara Quinn's like, charge $200 a head for painting class. Motherfucker, I try. Man, people don't care about me, Kara Quinn.
People love the painting classes. What are you talking about?
I mean, I think they're coming for like, like the Miniac paint class. They don't care about poor old Kenny.
No, I think there's a difference between instructors and creators. I would almost argue, a lot of people want to throw around that influencer word. I would argue that in this space there is no influencer. Like nobody's an influencer. Everybody's a creator. But to be an influencer, that means you're bought. And the only people that are bought, I guess, are people getting stuff from GW because they ain't gonna say nothing bad about it.
That's fair. We don't. Yeah, no one makes money on the influencing lifestyle.
Like nobody's Kim Kardashian in this industry.
No, you're right.
Like
We're what is referred to as micro influencers. Like people still approach us to talk about their product because we do influence a small swath of people. Well, plus Ev says, Kenny, nah, everything is wild. Who cares? Rob, nah, shit needs to be locked in. Wyatt stares in silence.
Yeah. So dynamic.
Our shit is 10 to 10. People show up
I
and like,
mean,
when
dude,
does this shit
it-
start? And they're like, I'm like 10. They're like, it's at 8. I was like, motherfucker, I lied to you.
I mean,
It
I had to explain how we were like, we had to trick people because people like to take extra time, which is why like the schedule said 3 hour rounds, but the actual game time was only 2 hours, 45 minutes. And then I was pretty like on the ball with time call outs and like, hey, dice down, stop playing,
And,
get your scores in.
tons of time between rounds.
Because if you let people, they'll take like they'll like, oh, you want to play into lunch? And like, dude, we got to get this shit like ready for the next round. We got to get
No.
scores in. Like, no.
Well, plus we got to be out of there at 10 because they're doing
Exactly.
registration for team tournaments the next day.
Yeah, we do a full 12 hours chill sesh, dude. It's dope.
No, I mean, dude, the event ran great, and the literal biggest complaint was one person complaining.
Saying it was too chill.
Yeah,
It was too cool.
and it's
too
like
good.
I'd rather be out of here. I'd rather be done.
Dude, what a
And
nerd.
I was like,
Fuck that
dude,
guy.
go fucking eat.
It was too good. It was too legit.
Like, what? You guys don't want a full hour to go eat lunch?
It was too legit, so he quit.
Like, you would rather we give you like 15 minutes to scramble to go take a piss and then like grab a water for the next
That's
round and then be
fuck
late
no.
to your table and then like cut time out of your
Go grab a
dude,
snack.
You get a full solid hour for lunch, you get a
Yep.
full solid hour for dinner, and then like the games are chill, not to be rushed.
Flawless.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a non-complaint to me.
Yeah, that's our worst complaint. We're just too good. Just too good at our jobs.
Yeah, dude.
Rob, are you good? You got the news?
Oh, we're still on a dice set.
Nice.
Gotta move it over here. So I guess I can put these
Nice,
in
nice,
stock.
nice.
What are you doing?
That I need to look. What is the name of the company that actually? So the game is called Blackout. I did not add to the right bookmarks. Who makes Blackout? Anyways, they reached out to me yesterday and they want to do some work with me. It's pretty cool.
Blackout. I've not heard of that.
Store. I guess the company is also called Blackout. Maybe they have a different website for their other game. Contact.
I guess we can talk a little bit about the previews too.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, I guess the game is called Blackout. BLK out, Blackout. I think it's a reference. I think it's a reference to the rifle round, the 300 Blackout, but it's a sci-fi game, like contemporary sci-fi. Kind of the vibe is very like District 9, Chappie, Elysium kind of vibe. And it's a veteran owned and operated store making this game. Their models are super sick. Got to demo the game. I'll put it in the chat so people can see it. But they reached out and they want to do some painting content.
Enemy Spotted Studios.
Enemy Spotted, yeah. Why isn't that on their website? Anyways, the game is very cool because they have another game that is actually contemporary war game, which is also really cool if you don't want to do the sci-fi version. But they were demoing Blackout at the con, and their stuff is really cool. So like you could have regular contemporary war game, or you could have the one with mechs. And I'm always going to choose the one with mechs.
Oh, for sure. Oh, that was cool today.
It's going to be spotted. I should probably get their website. Enemy Spotted Studios.
Oh yeah, you think we could sell these now? Because we're about to start the podcast. There's no way all of these will sell before then. But that would be funny. Be like, sorry, just kidding. If you want, they sold to all the live people. I think we did need to talk about some stuff last week.
Is this the same company? I think I remember them mentioning their game is called In Country.
Sounds cool. What are you doing?
Just wondering why, like, it's not, there's no connection between the two websites.
Oh, sometimes you just have different.
I just want to make sure that I'm like saying the right thing. I'll probably have to like talk to the guy again. Maybe play In Country. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. Also, I saw Justin over with the Death Ray Designs people, and Death Ray is launching a game that looks really neat. It's kind of like a cool version of BattleTech. Well, I don't want to say that. It's like it's a mech game, but it's a very different vibe, and their models are super neat. And I had no idea they were doing that because I just been like out of the loop, and so got to catch up with Justin, which is cool. And like I bought the little 2-player set for their game.
Oh, is it already out? Are they kickstarting it or something?
No, I think they already did all that.
Oh, okay. All I know is BattleTech's crushing it. And
Yeah,
they announced a
BattleTech
new
is
paint
cool.
set with the Fnatic paint.
I'm just always going to keep that bit going because I know that there's like a small subset of people that it really upsets, and that makes me happy.
What's that?
BattleTech.
When I say stuff like BattleTech is dead or like BattleTech is dumb, because they have like the bit is that like I have been a Mech Warrior and BattleTech fanatic since I was like 5 years old.
So what people are saying now in chat is enemy spotted makes minis you can use in Blackout.
Oh, okay. Steel Rift is the game from Death Ray Designs, and they have some really cool models, and the scale is, I think, a great selling point.
What's the scale?
Um, I think it's, I don't want to say it's 15, but it's also not the same scale as BattleTech. Like the models are bigger than BattleTech models.
So BattleTech's, I believe 6. Legion Imperialis is 8.
I think these guys might be between 8 and 15.
Huh.
But I'll link it in the chat so people can check it out.
There's another game that's 12.
Maybe they're 12.
Let me go look.
Let me see. Maybe it says it.
Yeah, 12 is also used.
Revelation skirmish game is 12. Yeah, that's another Met game. That's 12. So it might be 12.
Shop miniatures. Steel Rift. Steel
I mean,
Rift.
they probably say because
Stars.
you'd have to, so people know what the.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not seeing. Because I think there's like 2 different versions of the game. like there's the full size version and there's like an even smaller scale version that's like more like pocket game size. I could be wrong on that. Like,
Oh man, we just
Um,
sold 2 more.
Oh shit.
Put them in the other stack. Oh shit. I don't think I restocked it. It might be sold out now.
anyways, I really like I like the aesthetic they got going on. Like every faction has like a completely different design philosophy for their mechs, which I like seeing. Um, which gives a lot of player expression. The one kind of thing that I dislike about BattleTech's miniatures is like they're all kind of the same when you get down to it. So like if you have two different factions, like if you have clan mechs and intersphere mechs, like they're very similar because like the clans are also built off intersphere technology. It's just like nicer. Whereas with this game, like how many do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 or 8? Like 6, I think they have 8 different factions. And they're all different. Every one of them is visually distinct.
I'm sure they did a
1,
good job
2,
with it.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's 8 of them. Anyways, I got those. I'm excited. I'm gonna paint some.
I think I got everything.
All right. Start when you're
Enough to talk about it at least.
ready. All right.
What's the meat and potatoes?
Adepticon.
Definitely do that. This is the Long War. I'm Rob Bear, and joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher and Wyatt Turk. What's up, guys?
Yo, Doug, good to be here.
Yo, what's up?
So we're back. We're back from the week off doing nothing. Not anything, and I guess we'll talk about what we did on the week off. What'd you guys do?
I can't remember.
It was all a blur.
I drove a lot.
Phew.
I'm about to drive a lot.
There you are.
Oh my god.
Adepticon 2024
What a blast.
last weekend. The first time we're all in the same room in 2 years,
It was
which is kind of like the ultimate culmination of what's been going on, on the personal side of things here in this podcast, right? Wyatt already alluded to he's about to drive really far. You guys all know I was in Austin or in Round Rock for like a whole month in February. So you guys are all caught up on the situation. So Wyatt's back. He went to Adepticon. That was the first event back. Whole crew back together. We ran 256 man event. Super smooth. Perfect. No mistakes. We had a big ass painting squad. Shout out to Jesse, the Chinese Canadian, for being our head painting judge. He organized a ragtag group of scallywags.
yeah.
Our friend Eli, student of mine, Rottweiler, aka Mark, another student of mine. We also had Clay, GoBoy76, another student of mine. So these are people who are like in our kind of curriculum and who are familiar with our paint rubric, and all under the leadership of Jesse. Handled our painting, judging super smoothly, updating scores in real time. So shout out to those legends. Shout out to Arthur, the financial CPA of our hearts. He ran the spreadsheet magic as he does. Kept that going. So without these guys, me, Wyatt, and Rob wouldn't have had shit. Like nothing it would have been terrible. There's no way we had the ability with our old system to run 256 players like this. Shit would have been a shambles. So personal thank you from the podcast to all those individuals.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
these
everybody that
guys-
helped, especially with food recommendations.
Now, so we ran the biggest, smoothest, most successful long war doubles in the history of us doing this for nearly a decade, I think.
I think it has been.
I think it's maybe the 10th year. Well, but we missed some
Ninth
years
or-
because of COVID.
Well, yeah.
But so Wyatt's back. The event was fucking dope. Lots of cool shit happened there. And also Wyatt is alluding to, I think on the 5th, he's leaving Texas to California. And he has a massive road trip ahead of him with a bunch of his XBZ homies flying out to facilitate that. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Well, we got a couple of guys flying out. We got Ohio Matt coming down. We're gonna convoy out to sunny
Yeah.
San Diego. It's gonna
That's a good time of year.
It's gonna take a couple of days. Yeah, I think this is actually the best time.
You're
of
hitting it
year
right. Yeah, you're hitting it right.
because any
Yeah.
later and it would just be brutally hot.
Oh, trust me,
in
I-
Texas
what-
and
what-
Arizona.
Or
When I
actually
left,
cold going through the desert.
yeah, when I left, it was August, dude. It was like August 7th. I was like, I fucked up. I drove through like the hottest part of the country at the hottest time of the year, man.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, you
it
did.
was bad, dude. And yeah, and any later, if you go into like the spring, if you go in like autumn or winter, man, you're driving through like 2 or 3 mountain passes or some shit to get there. So
Yeah.
this is the chill time. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
So they got the cat convoy, the danger wagon. You got Matt OTP HGZ, and so
Yeah, who knows if we'll be there or not? You know,
Yeah,
it's...
you never know. Ohio might burn down.
yeah.
We'll see. So it's finally happening. This is, I mean, like what a amazing start to the year, man. Like it's been a fucking whirlwind so far, man. Me personally, I think I've only been home for 5 calendar weeks. This in 2024. It's like, but look at look at what's like. Here we are, moving into April. Shit's moving now. What a fucking high. You know what I'm saying? Speaking
Yeah.
of getting high, how about Rob Bear getting so drunk he couldn't remember what
Oh
he
my
did the last
God.
night before?
Truly a memorable Adepticon experience.
My God, you got anyone who listens to this podcast is aware of the salad floor incident, the floor salad incident, the Long Island iced tea incident, the pancake incident. There's so many just inside jokes. I heard it. I was watching a TikTok, and it was a duet. Some guy I follow, and the lady starts off. She says something like, "I I just want to go on like trips like how guys go on trips." Right.
go.
And then the guy swoops in. Says, let me show you. Let me explain to you how a guy trip works. We don't pack. We grab kind of what we think we need. It's
Mhm.
only loosely organized. When we get there, the only thing we talk about on the way to there is the event, is the thing we're doing itself. There's no other conversation happening. It's like what we're gonna do, when we get to the destination. Then when we get to the destination, when it comes to like, oh, what are we gonna have for dinner? I don't know. What's open? I don't know. What do you want to do? Might be different than what you want to do. Okay, do something different than me, right? It's just a whirlwind, nonstop. We don't buy anything, or we don't get great souvenirs. We forget stuff in the hotel room. We go home. We don't talk about the trip very much afterwards, but forever until the sun sets on reality, we will have 2 or 3 inside jokes from that will never die.
Rob, you want some oranges?
Like,
Can I
Well,
offer you an orange?
You
in this
did ask me
try?
if I wanted an orange. And I'm like,
like Rob was so fucked up. I was like looking at our little kitchen, like, oh, what can I do to help out my buddy? And the only thing I could think that he could eat was like, there's this bag of like fresh oranges. So I'm like, Rob, you want an orange? Would that make you feel better? Can I offer you an orange in this trying
so
time?
now we have a new one added to the list, and it was epic. But yeah, having said all that, we're going to talk a lot about Adepticon tonight in our meat and potato section. Rob's got the news. He's got GW previews. To all of our homies who are listening to this podcast on their way to work right now, what I'm about to say might not apply to you. Rob, how many dice sets do we have left?
I think 8 now.
At the moment we are recording this, there are 8 exclusive Long War dice sets from Adepticon. These are exclusive collectibles. A bunch of them sold during the pregame. So
Yeah, we sold like more than half.
So I apologize if you're hearing this on your way to work. You pull over, say you pull in to the nearest Long John Silver's. You pull out your phone, you try to order these things, and they're sold out. My bad.
Make
Having
sure you
said,
pull over though.
oh yeah,
Be responsible.
responsible. Having
Yeah.
said all that, let's roll out to Wyatt's Cave of Wonders and touch nothing but the lamp.
Mm. Yeah, so based on a earlier conversation, with Kenny, I came up with this one. Would you rather fight Mike Tyson as he is right now, or 4 local high schoolers?
So
Well-
okay, first question: does Mike Tyson know we're gonna fight?
Yeah,
He's prepared for this fight?
yeah. As are you.
That's not good. Didn't he just like, I mean, not this year, but like a year or two ago, he was just straight like,
You have to pick the 4 high schoolers, bro. There's no other fucking choice.
yeah, I feel like Mike Tyson in any
Now
era.
it depends. Is me fighting Mike Tyson going to be publicized? Am I going to get a cut of some YouTube revenue like Logan Paul and shit like that?
Yeah, am
I'm
I
assuming
trying
I
to be
would get paid.
famous?
I'm assuming
Yeah.
that there's no way Mike Tyson's
Assume that
fighting
in
me.
both situations you would be paid the same. There's no bigger payout either way.
And it will be publicized.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little different. Then.
I feel like you just have a
Tyson,
better.
100% now. I'm back to Tyson. I have an opportunity to step into the ring with my favorite boxer of all time, have a fight with one of the baddest men on the planet who's ever existed, do my best to not die, which I can do. I'm going to this fight knowing I'm not winning. So
Well, sure.
I'm not going to be stupid about this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fucking, as soon as I get a wrap on the Jack Johnson, I'm down, dude. I'm not getting back up. I don't care if it's a glancing blow. I don't care how it hits me. I'm taking a dive right there. I'm not
The
getting
first
back up.
hit?
Yeah, dude. Because the first hit's probably the hit anyway. Let's say
That's
it's not
true.
the hit. This dude's counting to 10. I'm like, bro, it's Mike Tyson. He just hit me in the face. I'm not getting back up.
I'm lucky I'm alive.
I now get to say, yeah, I fought Mike Tyson.
No, like I got hit by Mike Tyson. All I got was his T-shirt
No, and some money. And publicity.
and some money. Yeah.
Yeah, if no one knows it happened but me, I'm fighting the 4 high schoolers. No doubt. I will go 4-on-1 against some high school kids versus the 57-year-old champ coming out of retirement to train for this fight. Fuck no. I'm not gonna get this shit beat out of me for like nothing.
No.
I mean, you get
gotta-
paid. You get paid either way.
So
Yeah, but you get.
prestige, I'm taking the prestige.
It's
I mean,
fair.
you want to have a story. Everything's about a story, right?
Bro, okay, recoil. When I say I'm taking a dive, he's gonna hit me. It's gonna hurt real bad. And I'm choosing, which is my fucking right, in the ring. That's the rules. I'm laying there, hurt, and he's like, 1, 2. He's looking at me in the eyes, and I'm like, it ain't, the fight's gone, dude. Like I'm allowed.
I mean,
That's
that's assuming that you even have the wherewithal to like be aware of the situation.
that is like I'm not getting back up. I am afraid. I'm truly within the rules of boxing. I'm not required to stand back up. Now, if he hits me and then there's like barely a glancing jab and I'm like, oh no, I'm knocked out, that's a dive.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, when you put it like that, I'd probably go for the teenagers or the high schoolers, which I guess would be teenagers. But like, I mean, what's cooler? Like, I took a hit from Tyson and lived to tell the story, or like, or like, I fought 4 teenagers because that's
I mean, like, there's different motivations, right? So, like, Kenny, his motivation is he wants to utilize the promotion of this situation to his advantage. Some people would be like, I really don't want to get in a ring with Mike Tyson because, like, but you're still gonna fight either way, right? So, assuming that, like, in this situation, your 4 high schoolers is like you have 1 freshman, 1 sophomore, 1 junior, 1 senior, and like you're in your 40s, like that might be
That's a deadly
the
fight
lesser
too.
of two evils.
That's still a
right?
deadly fight. It's still a 4-on-1, man. Like this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's still like you can get.
Assuming that like in this situation, both parties are highly motivated to win this fight, right? So it's not like you're just gonna go in there and like use your adult authority to be like, get the fuck out of here, kids. Like, no, they are going to fight you. Assume that they're like a video game mob. Like
Yeah,
they're
they
coming
got
for
they
you.
got nothing to lose. Like when you're a
Right.
kid, you think you could box Tyson and win.
Yeah, so like in my mind, I think the riskier situation is actually fighting the teenagers because it's 4-on-1 and you could take a lot more bodily damage from 4 people, even though they're teenagers, than just like one Mike Tyson.
Is it
So you
still?
can,
Yeah.
like,
Is it still boxing?
like if you're
Is it
training
sti-
for
is
the
it
fight,
still-
maybe you're trying to get away from those punches.
Is it
You're bobbing and
modified
weaving.
boxing rules or is it a street fight with the kids?
Good point.
No, that's like boxing rules.
Boxing, so you can game that if you train for it, you can keep it pretty safe. Like because they still have to break, they still have to break you up when you're leaning on a guy. So you can use the scramble to your advantage to stay relatively safe while losing that fight. But unless
Yeah,
you
I'd
can,
say
unless
modified
you
rules
could,
would be that they can still attack you regardless of which direction you're facing.
Yeah.
They still can't like punch your dick or anything.
well, they
like
can't
that,
punch
but,
you in the
like,
back of the head.
They can't kick.
They can't
like-
punch you in
Yeah.
the spine. But in rules of, but like if we're tied up, it's not. This isn't Muay Thai. Like if we're tied up, if there's a break, you can't be throwing punches from the tie up. Unless
everybody
the genie
does
rules
in
that they
Street.
can, but they still can't hit it back or in the spine. Still it's a little harder still,
Yeah.
but unless you can generate like vicious knockout power, that's your best bet if you go to that fight, Rob.
I mean, Jeff brings up a good point. You might actually be able to win against four teenagers.
Like I think I could if I trained.
Yeah,
If it's a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, and a senior, and
I'm
we
just
have
thinking about that one viral video of that dude just like fighting like the huge like white guy in like a suit fighting 2 like Muay Thai like short dudes in the ring and they're just going after it.
You-
Just like that, like you versus 4
You give me a
teenagers.
30-day fight camp to get back in shape, I'll beat those kids' ass. A fucking target the 14-year-old freshman, blast him to oblivion as he's laying there looking at the other guys. You weren't ready for that. That escalated quickly, huh? Like your dude's eyes are backwards now and his toes are all curled. Use massive intimidation factor. I get those fuckers. But I don't care about them. Like Tyson. It's too prestigious to turn down. I will risk permanent brain damage for that fight.
Yeah, I think I go with Tyson just for the memes of it. I mean, you're gonna lose, but it's style points at that point. And just
Jeffrey, good callback. He's like, you remember my weight for last week? 272 to fight weight 30 days. 264 this morning, baby. And I hit the gym. 30 days, almost too much time at this point.
yeah, I'd probably pick Tyson too, just for the meme of it. Whatever.
It's fair.
Mike Tyson, oh my God. Like, really, guys? Who the fuck is this? No, it's a good one. We talked because we were talking about the Logan Paul Tyson fight earlier today. It's a good callback. Why I like that one. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you. Okay. Rob, you got some news for us?
Boy, do I. It was a big news week. I mean, lots of previews at Adepticon for not just GW. Lots of different companies put stuff out. Let's talk about the new releases real quick. So going on pre-order this weekend from Games Workshop, it's the new Underworlds, Warhammer Underworlds Winter Maw box. That one's $95. A bunch more Legion Imperialis releases, the Drop Pods, Medusas, Land Raider Squadron, are the sliders. Those are all $50 each. And then they rolled out the Titans. On the preview post on GDub's site, they only showed the Warhounds with the Ursus claws for $75. But they are also, apparently, according to the information I have here, you're going to put out the regular Warhound Scout Titans and the War Master Heavy Battle Titan. The Warhounds are also $75, which makes sense. And the War Master Heavy Battle Titan is 170, same price as an Imperial, a full scale 40K Imperial Knight. Or you can get one really big Tiny Titan. Whatever. So that's basically the releases for this week. Now today GW also previewed new release for Horse Heresy that is going to be an upgrade sprue, very similar to how they did the command squad for the Auxilia, except for they're also going to put it out in separate kits. So you can get a sprue of 5 Mark 3s or a sprue of 5 Mark 6s. Or you can get the upgrade sprue separately, which is kind of interesting because I imagine the sprue by itself separately, as all their upgrade kits lately have been $35. So if they put out a squad of 5 with the upgrade set, it's probably going to be $60 too, if I had to guess. Maybe it'll be 50, but that one will be interesting. But it makes more sense than spending $80 because remember, the Legion Marines are $80 for 20. You can't even get them in 10s. So it kind of makes sense for them to do this way. And I got to give them credit for thinking about it and being like, well, would people still buy this? Like, but they're not going to buy a squad of 20 to upgrade, right? So it makes sense. And it seems like with these releases, GW seems to be getting a little bit smarter, or maybe not smarter, but more cognizant of how we as consumers want to buy, and that's the value proposition, right? So I gotta applaud them for that, because there's been a little bit of a disconnect on the value proposition for a while, sadly. Now, I'm just, since I'm on GW, we'll just keep going with the GW here. I wanted to read you. They sent out a statement to retailers when we were at Adepticon, and this is what they said. They said, due to unprecedented demand, we are providing a one-time opportunity to request an increase for the Kroot Army box. That was their sentence, right? What do you guys think of that statement?
I have no input.
Nothing? Not once?
Sorry. Was daydreaming about fighting Mike Tyson.
So they're saying that they're going to release more because of demand.
They said due to unprecedented demand, i.e., this shit's selling too fast, too much, we are providing a one-time opportunity to request an increase for the Kroot Army box.
Oh, this sounds like a timeshare.
This sounds like a lead up to them being like, we're gonna let people order more and then be like, oopsie poopsie, we actually can't give you that many, but we are gonna have that many on our web store.
So just as a little bit of backstory here. At that particular time, the US store had sold out. The US mail order store had sold out of these boxes, but they were still in stock in Canada and still in stock in the UK. They did not sell out, is what I'm trying to say. So my point, if there's unprecedented demand,
So
for
they're creating
something,
so this is FOMO, like generating FOMO.
it seems like, I mean, the way this reads to me, like if GW always sells out of everything. Their CEO literally said, our goal is to sell out of everything always. So due to unprecedented demand means you sold out.
So it's quite literally not unprecedented because they've actually sold out of things.
So this might be a little bit of a flim flam to tell people, like,
yeah,
to try to like entice retail accounts to be like, hey guys, this is selling really well, you might want to order some more.
Oh, total fucking gaminess, total salesman-y, like swarmy fucking salesman tactics.
So I fixed it for him. I fixed the statement for him. This is how I, as if I was a retailer and I was checking my email in the morning, along with all the other problems that I had as being a retailer, like, hey, who's trying to fuck me today? as a retailer because everybody's trying to go direct to market, and rent's going up, everything's going up. Like, you got problems as a game store retailer. This is a asymmetric business. There is no template for it. There's more ways to do it wrong than to do it right. And it ain't getting no easier right now because the times are changing and everything. At some point, we're all gonna have to pay to play games at game stores. Like that day is coming faster than I think a lot of people realize.
So
Um,
read
so,
read your statement. I want to hear this.
so here's how I reward it. I reworded it. We appreciate, this is GW, of course, fictional GW speaking to retailers. We appreciate your patience and loyalty. We are committed to providing you with the best possible service. We understand that many of our customers have been eagerly waiting for an opportunity to increase their Kroot Army Box allocation. Therefore, we are happy to announce that we are offering a one-time chance to fulfill your request. So if I was a retailer, that's the email I would like to get in my inbox, not like blowing smoke up my ass, trying to like
What's the
sell
offer?
rest of
But
your-
what's the offer?
the
What's
offer
the
is
one-time offer?
well, okay, so Games Workshop, the thing now with Games Workshop is as a retailer, you have to
Allocations.
you have to, they put out the teaser, and then you as a retailer have to go into this Google sheet and you have to fill out each line separately and be like, I want this many of each product. And you have to do it by Tuesday.
So what the one-time
And-
offer is you get to go do it again.
You get to adjust your allocation. Yeah. Because supposedly the reps and things, this goes to some like over somebody over everybody, some supreme bean counter at the top that gets this and then
So the
figures
one-time
out
offer is go to the order sheet.
is I think I don't remember exactly if it was reply to this email or go back and refill out your thing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a stupid.
Um,
It's a stupid email.
But yeah.
GW.
So it's sad. Me as like, hey, this shit's cool. Those Kroot look cool, guys. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't know what happened to make these things not sell as much, which makes me sad because you can tell Games Workshop spent a lot of time on these models, these Kroot models. They look awesome. Like, I haven't seen a bad one yet. Like, I don't know how they'll play, but I have to like hold myself back from like starting an army. I was like, I got way
Oh,
too
I
many
ordered a
projects.
box.
Huh?
I ordered a box.
Oh, well, there you go. Right?
I just think like so if I was to guesstimate based on my conversations with other people who are Tau mains,
Mm-hmm.
I think I would be safe in saying that the majority of people who main Tau do not.
But disappointed with the codex.
Well, no. I was gonna say they don't jive with the Kroot aesthetic. Like the reason that they picked up Tau has nothing to do with Kroot. It has to do with the aesthetic of the Tau, like crisis suits, the commander battle suits, the vehicles, the airplanes, like that kind of thing. And Kroot are just sort of this like vestigial sort of thing that they're like, I'm not like into the Birdmen. Like it's not why I like.
Recoil summarized it for you. Yeah, they look cool, but they're not big shooty robots.
Yeah, and I mean, like, people like what they like, and
Yeah, that's a good point.
the sentiment I have been hearing from lots of people that I know personally who are Tau fanatics is like, I want my mech suits, not bird cannibals. And so maybe that's why. But like, there's also a lot of people that are like, Kroot are fucking cool, and I'm glad they can finally kind of be their own thing.
Yeah, so they get the crew, they get the normal people who want to buy new releases, but they're not getting the whole like fandom of Tau.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. Yeah, it's a shitty email either way, Rob.
I think, yeah. I mean, it's sad. And I hope, I mean, it's good. It's good and bad. It's good that they allowed folks to get more, but I think everybody, at least I talked to on the retail side, was like, I didn't even sell what I asked for.
I mean, it's utterly false. It's literally fake. Like it's a lie. Like they're saying that they're going to give you this new opportunity, just like your email was just left it at that. You were like, hey, go get more. Their email was like, dude, unprecedented motherfucker, this is not the definition of unprecedented. Unprecedented means it's never happened
You wouldn't
before.
have any.
It's never happened before. And so first off, you didn't sell out and you have sold out before. So it's a straight salesman lie.
Mm.
Like, so it's a
It's
shitty.
disingenuous.
It's
at
disingenuous. Yeah,
best.
yeah. It's a bold faced.
works.
It's a bold faced lie slotted into an information based email, which is
Yeah.
go order more. We're giving you. We're letting you do it again. We're letting you go back to the spreadsheet.
Mm.
Hey, I mean, it could have literally just been that. Hey, spreadsheets are open again for another 2 days, guys. Go nuts.
Anyways, I just thought that'd be funny to talk about there for a minute. So preview wise, yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff. I mean, not as much on the 40K side. I mean, 2 new Chaos Lords,
Sag.
locked behind 2 different battle forces. It's kind of again
Yeah.
a little disingenuous. I mean, those models.
Bro, if I'd actually bet Vegas odds on my prediction, I'd be on the streets right now. they really they fucking let me down on the chaos preview, dude.
Those models are dope. It's everything Chaos players have wanted. They look great, but it's going to be interesting to see how they sell, because if
I mean,
What's in the boxes?
it's a lot of stuff everybody already has. is the problem.
they're actually not too bad. So value wise, the dread talents is about $140 in value. The other one is about 110, which is about normal for
Okay. And but what does it come with? Like Rhino, Legionnaires.
Legion. So the one on foot's Legionnaires, Terminators. I think there's Possessed. I have to go look at the exact lineup. The other one's focused on Raptors and some cultists
Okay.
as well.
Not entirely useless, but a lot of people just want those new models. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's whatever.
There's also a new Kill Team box with new Votan and Gene Stealer Cult. Gene Stealer Cults are getting the upgrades. Sprue Votan are
Dude.
completely new sculpts.
Those pioneers, the
They look
Votan
good.
dudes, they're cool. They are.
The
They
long
look
coats.
cool.
Long coats.
They're
are
like
fresh.
the Hernkin pioneers without the bikes. Their
Yeah.
weapon options are sick. Like oh man, I want to get some of those.
I could definitely see people are going to be into those for sure. Sigmar preview, a 4th edition is happening. Not so much on models. I saw today, and I think we did an article on it as well. Somebody already sculpted up the Ratling gun cannon in 3D, and it looks pretty good. So I don't know if that's a thing, like why GW isn't showing models as much anymore, because people can have them sculpted and already ready to print before we even see the previews for actual releases, just from a few sprue pics in a video, trailer. It's an interesting, and I don't think I put in the article either, but to me, I think this is going to be the litmus test to look for when Games Workshop is truly terrified of 3D printing. And that's when they remove that 3D, that spinner for each model on their website, where you can look and you can turn it, right? And look at it in 360, like every model, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you might not have noticed, you can actually go bird's eye on that and look at it from the top, which means you can get depth. So the second 3D scanning technology catches up and you can 3D scan a 2D object, you will be able to get depth from that. And there might be the short period where like they don't realize it, or maybe it's happening now. I'm not up on that side of things. But when you see that 360 spinner come off GW's site, that's the litmus test. That means the shit is hit the fan and they are worried.
Fucking GW.
I don't know. That's just my prediction. That's my Vegas.
Just stop trying to sell us time.
People keep saying, I mean, like, this is constantly a conversation, and like, I kind of want to agree with you, but then the other part of me is just like, as somebody who spent a lot of time 3D printing stuff. I'm like, I still think we're a long way off from it actually hurting their bottom line because 3D printing is just too much of a fucking hobby in and of itself. There's just too much time investment.
For you, a lot of people get dick hard to that shit though.
Yeah, like if you're the type of person that wants that extra hobby, I'm talking about like for 3D printing to actually hurt Games Workshop in a like hurt their bottom line for sales and stuff, like the machines still aren't there. Like it's just
Not at this moment, but that'll be the
the ease of access
thing
still
is
isn't there.
I mean, it's like electric cars. Like the future is coming eventually. Like eventually
Oh, for sure.
we're all driving electric cars one day. That's just facts. Just like we're only ever printing models fully assembled in the future. Like,
Yeah.
like that day.
If they figure
that
out a
day
way
is
to
coming.
make it as easy as like cooking a burrito in the microwave, and
Yeah.
they figure out a way to make it
Yeah.
where it's like they remove all
Mhm.
like toxicity from the material, then yeah, maybe. We're a long way from that still.
Yeah, it's the analogy I use is like it's like the Model T, man. Like Henry Ford figured out how to stabilize and produce automobiles, right? But before that, it was a bunch of nonsense prototypes that were fucking dumb and hard to
Mhm.
use and silly.
Yeah.
And then finally it wasn't silly and it wasn't hard to use anymore and it was tight. And then all the horse farriers, all the carriage motherfuckers, all of them, they're gone. All that's just gone. The industry's vanished. It's silly to think about it now, right? So the concept of us opening up a box,
Mm.
pulling out little sprues, clipping the bitches off, gluing them bitches
Also,
together.
like,
We're gonna be like, Grandpa, you used to build these like a peasant?
yeah, you use your hands. That's a baby game.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this STL Rob you're talking about, and like, in my mind, I was kind of like, I am assuming that model is kind of bootsy, because there is that. There's also the market of STLs where people are like trying so hard to be like first to market for the wave of people who want that stuff that they're releasing STLs that are like the Wish.com version of stuff.
Oh
Like,
yeah, for sure.
And
and
yeah,
the
a lot of
type
people
of
scoop that up.
people that model like is appealing to are not people that are even buying Games Workshop
They
stuff
weren't buying this
anyways.
shit in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't disagree with you. I don't. But the fact that it is readily available and there's people that this is just their funsies thing to do. So
No,
imagine
your point is valid, Rob. Like
Oh, for sure.
if we see the 3D,
not
if
disagreeing
you
with you
see the
entirely.
3D map vanish, you know why. Like I
Mhm.
think that's an accurate assessment. Like you know why. Like because now
Yeah.
it is now that threshold has been crossed, and if they haven't gotten with the times by then, it is panic mode.
Mhm.
But anyways, who knows where we're at? I would like to point out that the going from horsepower, the organic horsepower to horsepower mechanical did not happen overnight.
Mm-mm.
And things did not vanish overnight like a lot of folks think they did.
Yeah.
There has to be a huge disruption, a huge shift for something like that to happen. And it generally doesn't happen like that. And I think we're in that phase right now where things gradually happen. And we don't really notice because we're so in
We only
caught
look
up
to
with
that. We
it.
only look to the. We only compare yesterday to today. So like,
Yeah, and
Right.
even like beyond, like just remove Games Workshop from the equation entirely. Like, who is it going to hurt first? It's not Games Workshop. Like 3D printing right now is not hurting Games Workshop at all. It's going to be a long way from that. Who it's actually hurting right now is local stores, because the people who are like, ah, fuck Games Workshop, I'm not buying any of their stuff when I can just print it. That also means like you're probably not buying anything from your local store, and so your local store is suffering. And then local stores close, and these guys look around like surprised Pikachu, like, what happened to the store, man? And we got nowhere to hang out now. It's like, well, if you don't support your store, then like, how are they going to pay the bills? How is that business going to stay afloat?
And I think a lot of that is circling back to the whole you are going to have to pay to play.
Yeah, 3D printing is a very dangerous game that people are playing right now. And it's all in this like really misguided thing to kind of like stick it to the man, because Games Workshop usually takes the position of the man to these people. even though they're just a company that makes toy soldiers. If you continue that to its logical conclusion, like, and you're not supporting your local store, then like, what are you just gonna play in your basement with the same 5 people until the end of time? Like, that's not fun.
No, and I think, but there is a change coming. It is on the horizon, and nobody knows what it'll be. And it's a very exciting time to just be part of it. It's gonna be great. But anyways, I want to talk about some other previews that were at Adepticon. So Halo Flashpoint is the game coming from Mantic. Pre-orders are up right now for it. It's gonna be out in September.
I pre-ordered. I demoed that game. I'm very excited for it. Like, we were kind of
Very
discussing
cool.
this beforehand, and being able to go there, get hands-on, see how it plays, run through a
Yep.
game. Like, dude, I love skirmish games, as you guys know. And being able to like have a Halo skirmish game with tight models, and also something I wasn't expecting, pretty tight terrain. Because all of the demo tables were like probably just like pop up in socket type terrain, not as cool as Squad Marks with their magnets, but it's all like screen printed hard cardstock stuff. It's like good body thickness to it. The tables look sick. The terrain is dope, and it comes in the starter box as a full table of terrain to play the game. And just like, how does this play? Okay, stats really easy to understand on our little cards. The
Yep.
dice rolls super easy to understand. There's no like it's all my successes versus your successes, kind of like MCP, similar in that sort of system. Takes you like less than 5 minutes to figure out the entire game, and you're off to the races. But it has a high skill ceiling for tactics and strategy, so I think it's gonna do well. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
And they might have let it slip that they have this license for a hot minute, and there is going to be a full scale version of it.
Mhm.
So we are going to be able to play with warthogs and shit in the near future.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
it's exciting.
40K scale games.
Fuck.
So-
And for people wondering, because there was a lot of discussion of like, is it just going to be Spartans? So like, what they unveiled during Adepticon on their social medias is that one of the starter kits, the smaller version, is just a couple of Spartans fighting each other. But then the actual full 2-player box set version is Spartans and Covenant elites, and there will be more Covenant. And like,
Mhm.
I mean, I didn't sign an NDA for anything, but like, kind of mums the word on like, there's only so much we can tell you. Like, I can't tell you that more stuff is coming. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Was kind of their thing when I was talking to their
Yeah,
guy.
there was a lot of that.
But like, yeah, I mean, it's probably a good bet that we're going to see Flood. We're probably going to see stuff like the Prometheans, maybe the Banished, that kind of vibe. Like, it's coming. It's going to be big.
Definitely the ODST or the
Oh, for sure,
the
yeah.
humans, the navy, the what is it?
The UNSC.
UNSC, that's it. Yep. So that's gonna be good. So definitely look out for that. We saw a couple previews from what was it? BattleTech has a paint set coming out from with Fanatic Paint. So that would be
Arcana.
cool. They also Monument Hobbies has their 2 signature sets as well as 6 new paints coming out. I think they're going to go on general pre-order towards the end of April, from the information I've seen. So those will be out
Yeah.
relatively shortly speaking, as far as that goes. Fallout has a miniature set coming out for the TV show from Modiphius as well. So if you just want the 4 characters, 4 main characters from the show, I didn't even realize that was Walter Goggins as a ghoul for like I was like, man, there's something familiar about that guy. He's been in a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
he's
and then he's in the intro too, like as the dude just standing there.
The Vault-Tec guy.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Vault-Tec guy. And I
I
was
think
like,
I think he is a Vault-Tec guy. Like, I think they're pulling a little bit of inspiration from the character from Fallout 4.
Salesman.
Yeah, the Vault-Tec salesman guy.
Yeah, I think that's what the intro was, but then I guess he's also the ghoul in the show.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
yeah, ghouls have a lot of the ghouls you meet in the lore were there since the bombs dropped.
Yeah.
And some of them, most of them went feral, some of them didn't. So he's like, he was there when it happened.
Yeah. Well, in Fallout 4, that character, you can find him
Mhm.
later on, and he's a sentient ghoul.
No,
Oh, well, there you go.
Kenny, he's also a drug build.
I saw.
I think you'll appreciate that.
It's my favorite build.
We talked about the horse heresy upgrade sprue. Mats by Mars. I forgot. I don't think I mentioned it on the show, but so they sell those really cool vinyl mats, which are great. You know, you can roll them up, put them away. They don't take up a lot of space. Uh, they you can crinkle them, and they will uncrinkle. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Sometimes it doesn't. But they do have 40K layouts too. So like if you want a deployment zone, you want your objectives on it, you can pretty much pick out any of the designs and get the layout printed on it. They also have something new coming out too. I don't know if I can talk about it, but a new feature for the mats. So definitely be on the lookout for that in the near future. But it's kind of the cheapest way to pick up 40K deployment zones, because it's just so much easier to just roll it out. Just put your mouse pads down wherever your objectives are, because they'll line up perfect, and then you just put your train on top and you're good to go. Saves you so much time.
Love it.
They also have the new layouts for Shatterpoint too, which I guess we're getting another mission pack as well. So I think I'm going to stop buying Shatterpoint MCP mats at this point. I'm just going to start drawing, with pencil, figuring out what spots are and drawing them in, because I've already got 2 of these mats from being upgraded. I don't think I'm doing it again. But if you don't have one already, now's a great time to pick one up. Pop Goes the Monkey still has a free miniature promotion going on. The Ursa Claw, Commander Ursa Claw. If you spend $20 in bits on their store, which I feel like that's not very hard to do, you can get this free figure, which I think looks pretty cool. And let's see. Oh, of course, Army Painter, their paint, Fanatic paint, will be out. The whole racks will be out in April. Everything else is either out or up for pre-order. I think the starters just went up for pre-order, and the wash sets went up for pre-order. But everything else you'll be able to get very, very shortly if you haven't already got the mega set or the complete set too. And I think that is everything that I've got here as far as new stuff goes. You guys, did we forget anything?
He nailed it. So, I will share one story before a commercial break. Somebody named Dakota told me the story. I was talking to him, and he was talking about how he had an Olive Garden on the way to Adepticon, and I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Somewhere in the Midwest, the name of the place is like, it looks like Alaska, but it's not.
What?
I just assumed Rob would know it off the top of his head.
You're making no sense.
It's called literally Onalaska. Like Onalaska. It's like between like Minnesota and Chicago. And they stopped at an Olive Garden. I was like, oh, shit your pants. Like, no, it's funny that you say that though. But when we got out of the Olive Garden, somebody was literally just straight defecating in the parking lot.
God.
Why?
I was like, so just wanted to put that out there.
Don't go there.
I like that's an amazing story. Don't go to Olive Gardens on Alaska.
The place, it sounds like Alaska.
Yeah, when in Rome, This is
Yeah.
Upper Michigan. Is that what it is, Jeffrey? Yeah, I think so.
Oh, the UP? Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know much about the UP. But they got a dope bridge.
I don't know. I had like 2 pieces of Giordano's, and it's fine.
Me too.
Brave man.
Me too. So let's take a quick commercial break here from some of our sponsors and come back and let's talk more about the actual champs. And we're back. Thanks, Rob, for covering all those previews. As we talked about at the beginning of the podcast, Longboard Doubles was amazing. We thanked a bunch of people who helped us out. Let's roll call some of our winners, maybe. That'd be kind of interesting. Do we have the winners sheet? Rob?
It might be in this
Northern
box.
was it Northern Defenders?
Northern, it was
Right?
definitely Northern Defenders.
Northern
got
Defenders
the
was best overall. They won the belts.
Region
Their-
Morales.
Their shit was tight.
We'll go into my link tree. So this brings up the point. So if you were there and you want to see the results, go to the link tree that I've been sending you guys to now for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
The results are posted there. I'm actually logging in there right now so I can just look. I have a comprehensive spreadsheet, Adepticon scores. Here we go. And it is a... God damn it. This is not the comprehensive spreadsheet. This is just the overall. I think I got it right here. This is the actual sheet.
I mean, so
I
best
got it.
overall was Northern Defenders. Best painted was Riga Muratas. Best
Yep.
theme was Settlers of Satan.
Oh yeah, Sellers.
They had a really good theme with their board and everything.
and their shirts. They had little Satan
Yeah,
like Matt
that was your
Pops.
boy, right? What was his name?
Twitch
That's
and
Mike,
Yeah.
yeah, Twitchell.
who was Twitch's
Yes.
partner?
It's their guy, man. Who's the fucking guy?
I didn't see who it was.
God
I
damn
just saw
it!
Twitch.
They're gonna get mad at me. He's their boy. He's always there. I never hang out with him, but he's always there. He's cool.
No.
So
Well, don't we have a name?
Settlers, yeah, their best theme, and we had sports. I think got moved around, right? Was it the Odd Couple for sports?
It was the Odd Couple, yeah.
Odd Couple won sportsmanship. Yes.
yeah,
yep.
the Odd Couple. And let's go to last place. It got pushed down to, was it Camino's Bargain Bin? I think they were the ones. It was like the third
That
place
might have been it.
winners, or was it Plasma and Gold?
Nah, I think it was the Camino's bargain bin.
That's right. I'm looking at the sheet right now. So the overall,
Never leave early.
the overall, yeah, never leave early. We always have the Mike Caspel Award of Excellence. They'll never give up, never surrender. So the sheet is up, the full comprehensive breakdown where you can go and see all your scores and how you were judged on things and your battle score and everything. Go to the link tree. Now, there's not a lot of meta to talk about at our event because our event is, in fact, 80% hobby score, 20% battle score. So if you haven't figured it out, you literally can't win our event without a max painting score. So there's no amount of battle points you can make up if you come in there with a tabletop paint score. So it also, you will struggle to win our event without a max sportsmanship.
Mhm.
So, but if you see our rubric, which is on our link, you'll see it's actually not that hard to get a 750. To actually max out our painting rubric is actually quite simple.
Yeah.
And it's effort based, not skill based. And if you go through and look at what it says, you can see that if you're trying to actually make a run at it at the Longboard Doubles, that's your priority checkbox. Can we get a 750?
Yeah, and like I know it can be a little frustrating because a lot of people are used to the old school version of paint rubrics, which is like checkboxes, like do this,
100
do this,
checkboxes,
do
yeah.
this, do this. Right. Our event is more subjective, right? To encourage people to like actually hobby super hard rather than do specific things to try to check a box. Because like if you've seen armies from other events like the team tournament or the 40K champs that they run at Adepticon, like you can get full paint score, but then you'll look at that army and you'll be like, that army's actually not that tight looking because it's all just like do X, get a check mark. It's not based on like how tight the army actually looks. So our event is super dope because of the subjective nature of the paint judging. People try way
It's
harder.
actually shockingly objective when you have the same group of people looking at the armies, because all it states is, you're battle ready. We all know what that means. Here's your points. So
Mhm.
everyone comes
Yep.
preloaded with a battle ready score. Now we go through and we look at everything, and then there's a battle ready plus, a display quality, and a display quality plus.
Yes.
So battle ready plus, a lot of people don't actually still don't hit that, because battle ready plus is simple, and it states in the documentation every model with no exception must show some type of highlighting and some type of shading. That's it. And then we do go into detail on what some examples are, but this is not the limit. It literally says you could edge highlight and pin wash all your models. You could dry brush and wash all your models. You can
Right.
use fancy airbrushing techniques, and that
Mhm.
counts as your highlights. So if every model with no exception, just think about it in terms of a Grey Knight army. You sprayed them all with a dark silver spray paint. You took them back into your Beats lab. You dry brushed them all with a brighter silver. Then you painted all their little knickknacks, red, parchment, blue, and then you washed them with like an oil wash. And you put them on a fancy base. That's literally Battle Ready Plus right there,
Mm-hmm.
straight up. And so we're not actually asking you for edge highlighting and sick pin wash or panel lining. None of that's it. It says these are examples of these types. It covers them all, every model with no exception. So the problem is almost every army has exceptions. So we don't create a checkbox where you can like pseudo max out. I'm asking for a effort based, not a skill based accomplishment. You have your battle ready. Battle ready plus, every model no exceptions. Display quality plus. Guess what? It's literally battle ready plus with a display board. And then the final, the showroom quality one is the guy who brought the display board that's like more than just a 2D tray that you walk around your models in that has a mat on it, right? Like it's got
there's always
it's got a castle, it's got
a
smoke or some
diorama
shit. Yeah.
aspect to it.
Diorama.
Yes.
So you can actually with your buddy get together and use my example. You could just game it. You could just say, let's do
Right.
Grey Knights. Let's do exactly what Kenny said, and let's spend 2 months building a sick diorama with a little light show on it, little cathedral window, little fog machine. Bro, you got 750 right there, baby.
Yep. And I mean, also all the pictures from our contender, like our final cut, best painted to the winners for best painted, best overall, best theme, are all on Spiky Bits as its own standalone article. So if you and your buddy are gonna come next year or come to the one at LVO, etc., like you have a template of like,
Oh yeah.
what kind of heat do we need to bring if this is an award we want to win, right? Because a lot of people want their stuff paint judged because they want to try to get those extra points, right? Because getting higher paint points and higher sportsmanship points does net you better placement overall at the end of the tournament.
And
But if you want to win, you should probably check out the competition because people come to play.
even
Like,
that can be slightly misleading, because here's the thing. Best painted is independent to a max paint score. And that is
Yes.
where that is the subjectivity, right? So we basically gather all the 750s together, all the max paint scores. And then my expert panel of judges with none of my input. I stay completely out of that input as the guy who wrote the list, wrote the rubric. And they bring like Wyatt over. And
yeah, I'm final. I'm like the
and-
Gordon Ramsay.
and,
in the
and it's
situation.
like that one's the tightest one. No, we don't need to know why. Nothing. It's literally like there's that intangibility that we can all agree on. Every single one of these models are all highlighted. Every single one. Every model has dose shading. Every model has sick bases. Every army that we just rolled out to Wyatt has a sick diorama. How do you pick the best? It's that gut feeling. That's the fucking best. So
Yeah, it
that's
was actually a really hard choice this year. We had two armies, and it was Northern Defenders and Riga Maraudis. And Riga Maraudis is like they're kind of the reigning champs. Like,
yeah,
they've got the belt more than anyone
Yeah.
else.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to compare the two, and I was just like, man, this is a hard choice. But like, it really just came down to the finest of tiny little details. Where like Northern Defenders, every single model that they had on the table had some like form, like some X factor pushing them over the top compared to.
and that's what we used to
Riga.
call it. We used to call it the X factor, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that's how we
Yeah.
do it. And it's fully in front. It's in the packet. You know, we have a 90% max on sportsmanship throughout our event. You know, as is the nature of sportsmanship, And so it's more about like the people who don't get maxes in sponsorship are getting fucked, right? Like they're not like they did something on the table and prioritize some element of the game, and we only get like maybe 8 of those, like throughout the entire event, like sportsmanship every round. So it's really like you must max out sportsmanship and maximize the cooperative competition. Make sure your opponent's you're as equally invested in your opponent's time as your own. Bring the hobby effort, and it's only 20% what you do on the table.
Yeah.
So you just have to like put up points, and you keep what you kill. You can lose a game 80 to 90. You got 80 points, dog. It's just, it doesn't matter. So you play the game, have fun, you know, interact well, bring effort. That's how you win the long war doubles,
Yeah.
or at least place.
It's a cumulative a sum total of everything, right? So like we had some people make top cut for painting where I was like, they have a really tight board, but the army itself is not that tight. And so like that is you have to
They got
you have to factor in
they got
everything.
their paint score, but they didn't win
Yes,
best painted.
for sure. Exactly.
Like that's why there's 2 different categories here, right? It's like best painted,
Yeah.
this guy, but he got his max. That's the thing. And
Exactly.
so
Because the problem I had with a lot of painting score stuff is that people will do something like they'll put like LEDs in their board, they'll put like a smoke machine in their board or something, and they'll like win over somebody whose army is like way tighter, but their display board didn't have little tchotchkes like that. And so like that kind of rubs me the wrong way. But the board is undoubtedly tight, so you get your points for that.
Yeah.
But you're not going to win best painted unless your army is
it's
the
literally
tightest
the
army
yeah,
there.
it's the tightest
Yeah.
one. So we use a very objective set of scores, in my opinion, to get that top cut, and then we bring in one expert eye to make the final decision. So that in its subjectivity, it is objective. When you break down those mechanics, and so there's 256 players. It's one of the biggest GTs in our.
I guess
in our-
so. The best way to say it is like it's all objective judging metrics to like make the top cut, and then from there it's a subjective score of like who is the tightest of the tight.
But I mean, if you had those design elements across your whole army, like there's not going to be any ties at that point. Like whether
Mhm.
it's OSL, weathering, shading,
No, that's
NMM.
yeah. It's now we are looking at the quality and the talent of the deployment of these techniques. So you get your
Right.
max score by effort. You win best painted because of the talent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
But-
that being said, like you can win best overall without being
Without
the
winning best
painted
painted,
there. Yeah.
100%. Like
Mhm.
straight up. So 256 players. The reason we go so hard on this is you got to realize the long war doubles at this point is one of the biggest, like North American events.
It's technically a super major.
It's a super major. So like we're running a super major at 256 because they don't give us more room. Think about that. And then we're playing with the friendlies who are also doing a similar thing to us where they have a lot of hobby score in their event, and they think they also have 256 players.
Yeah.
So there's 500 people in that room that day, all playing a hobby centric version of this game,
Mhm.
right? And the only reason we all fit is because we run it as a doubles and they run it as a singles. So we put 4 people on a table.
Yeah, because
So-
it wouldn't. 'cause
So
it's-
you wouldn't fit. So we
Yeah.
when you think about the friendlies and the long war doubles in that room for one day, we're like I want to say quadruple the revenue for the event as the championships. Cause like they're doing 2 days with 256. Right? They're like one whole day for this one group of people. And then they're finishing a little section of the haul out with us for the top cut.
Mhm.
And we're shoving 500 people in there in one day, getting it all done. Like so, there's more drive for bringing hobby back than ever before.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the nature of the event. So we're very proud of this year's accomplishment. We had a wait list. We sold out the tickets within 30 seconds with Adepticon, and smooth, no hitches, flawless event. Best thing I was ever part of as far as event organization goes.
No, it was good, and I mean, everybody that wanted to get in could get in the day of. I think I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
think
there's inevitably drops because
Yeah.
it's Adepticon and people party too hard.
well that, and some people just weren't able to make it in general.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, that wait list got filled up on the same 30-second run.
Yep.
months ago. So some of those people changed plans. That's why we always have a wait list. Like,
Yeah, and they were
organic.
able to open up a handful more tables for us too. Like,
Yeah.
day of, which was nice. So I mean, like if they give us more tables, we'll sell more tickets. Like
Yep.
that's a fact.
But there's no reason not. There's no reason because there's also the friendlies. So
Yeah.
we're bringing so much hobby back in one room with these guys. They've been there as long as us. So it's like it's tight.
Man.
So, we're just tooting our own horns and how happy and how high we were to that event. Shout out to all the winners of all the awards and all of our support staff. But there was an actual championship that took place too. And some of my
Oh, yeah.
students made top cut. One of my students was top 16. Another student was top 8. Another student was top 4. So like so that's kind of one of our, on this podcast especially, we are like definitely like a gameplay first kind of like group of guys. We love games. But if the rules of the game and the mechanic of the game is like also paint your shit, we go pretty hard on it, and we ride that line where it's not like, oh, these guys painting. This is a painting show, or is this like a gaming show, right? Like, no, like we do both, man. Like we are the Renaissance man. Like it's all about playing and looking good while doing it, and so that's kind of like my that's what my lessons are all about. My class is all about. It's gameplay first. It's all my students. This is like, so this is something we do to supplement our gameplay, because you can't play every day of the week, but you can paint. So get good, get OP, right? And then you'll have even more fun on the table. So shout out to specifically Steven and Lewis. Thank you guys for kicking so much ass for me, dude. They were doubles partners and had to drop from the doubles to go play top cut. Now, having said all
Two
that,
gangster.
they're two gangster.
Yeah.
They're just two gangster. So having said all,
Double winning.
and also special shout out to Steve, 1+ saves, for top 8ing with Necron with no Satan
Some BDE for sure.
for sure. So let's bring it back to the top 8. Let's review the armies.
Top 8. Adepticon. In order of placement. Tau, Thousand Suns, Necrons, playing Hypercrypt,
Mm-hmm.
Chaos Demons, another Tau, Tyranids playing their Vanguard detachment, Thousand Suns, and Necrons playing Canoptic Court.
Boy. So that's a pretty good spread. Some repeats in there, but not the usual suspects.
Right.
Not the usual repeat suspects. We got new suspects. So
Yeah, like Thousand Suns and Chaos Demons like kind of creeping up in there is pretty cool to see. Tau have been kind of back and forth, but they're getting a little bump, which is nice. But I mean, like you extrapolate out to the top 16, you're also seeing orcs, world eaters, Eldar, dark angels, blood angels, like
Well, the Dark Angels was really just
it's hard to call
Azrael
it
in
storm eagles, storm
Yeah.
ravens, whatever
Storm
they're called.
or
Like,
the Gaddy, the super shooty one.
I
I
think
forget
it's
what
a
it's
storm
called.
eagle. Yeah.
they had a Dark Angels character.
Yeah, it still counts.
Yeah, it's a little weird, right?
Wait,
'Cause,
isn't it Triple Storm Raven? It's not Triple Storm Raven.
No, it was just the what's the shooty detachment? It was just Azrael and that with all the normal
well, I mean,
stuff.
like their Ironstorm is
Ironstorm, yeah.
one of
that's
the
it.
better detachments.
That's
because you
yeah,
can
it's just-
use
for sure.
vehicles.
There's
right?
there's no Legion specificity to attachment. You pick the best attachment for your playstyle. That's the game we play
Right.
right now. So for
Yeah.
if that guy wants to shoot with vehicles, that's the one.
Which is great. Personally, I would go Vanguard because
It's also
super-
for your playstyle.
You like ninjas.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I like ninjas.
I mean, like it's a Dark Angels army, so I mean, like
Oh, I'm sure it looked great, like Dark Angel-y. But it was just funny. It's like you see it and it's like Azrael and like everything else is Marine.
well, that's how all Space Marine chapters work now.
Yeah.
Is like
I
the only
know.
thing that makes you a chapter is either just like writing down some random shit if you're using Build-A-Bear characters, or you take Azrael, or you take Marius Calgar, or you take Helbrecht, whatever. That's
it's
what
actually
sets your
it's actually
chapter keyword.
smart. One of the smartest things you ever did. It's a
yeah,
massive.
GW's
It's a 180 from their old stance. You know, like
Yeah.
it's. So I
Problem
mean,
with
here we,
Space Marines right now is that like some of the detachments are just straight up not tight, and the detachments that are balling
in the
it's a lot
past,
of the
when they
same
did that,
units.
it would have ruined an entire codex.
For sure.
See,
Right.
that's the genius of it now. Like, so if some of them aren't bangers, some of them are love noodles, it doesn't ruin someone's codex because they can go play the Iron detachment or or the Vanguard.
Yeah.
So it's
Yep.
fucking, it's the way to be right now for the Marine players out there. That's 200. It's a big champion event at Adepticon with another, yet again, diverse top 16 with new suspects rising to the top. So the little repeat offenders you see in there are new repeat offenders. New combinations of armies. I mean, it's like the game state is tight. But
Yeah.
It's pretty solid right now.
I think it's the thing we've always asked for, and here it is. And also, I don't know how many people have seen the new Tau Codex book that comes in the Kroot box, but it's tight as fuck. Like, it's the coolest thing.
a lot of
like,
people,
it
a lot of people are crying about their crisis suits. But
No, not that. The actual like physicality of it. Like, it comes in a slipcase with a elastic band around it. You open it up, you slide the book out. It's got the card pack in it. Everything's like in this little like slipcase.
I'm a
Like,
sucker for that, no doubt.
you can put all your game aids, anything you
If
need.
I gotta buy a book, it better be like that.
Yo,
If I have to physically
that's a-
purchase goddamn literature, it better be like that.
that's a $60 book to me, dog.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's a good point. Shout out.
Like, that thing is tight.
But the Tau Codex was not in effect during this event, right?
No, and it won't be for some time because
it's not
so
out
the-
yet.
okay, so it comes out this weekend, right? But what I'm explaining to Kenny is that, like, so in the past, like, as soon as the codex dropped, like, it was legal, even if you could only get it in one of these boxes or something. Well,
Oh.
now, because of the continuance of this trend and the fact that the people who get the book in the box set cannot input their code into the app until the book hits wide retail
Ah.
that day.
So that's the
Yeah,
real date.
The events have said no new codex until that date.
And so the code releases.
Yeah, the code will
Right.
not work.
So like
That's
we
right.
saw with the Dark Angels, it could be like a month before that happens.
10-4. Understood. Well, guys, it was so great to be in the same room as all of you guys for the first time in years. Welcome back, Wyatt. Rob, sorry you got super obliterated with Brad Chester.
I don't know. I don't want to throw out with because I don't remember.
That's true.
I mean,
He was there.
And you
Dude,
deleted
Brad just,
you
like-
deleted your Facebook post. So
I have a screenshot of it. It's
No,
not
no.
gone.
first
I got
thing,
it.
yeah, we got it. It's there. It exists. Motherfucker over here, like, I don't know what I did last night. Where was I? He posted this shit on Facebook. It's right here. I'm like, oh my God, Rob. Motherfucker was laying in bed till 5 p.m.
That's egregious.
But you still
It
took
was-
us to Portillo's. You still rallied. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
you still took us to
after, like,
Portillo's, and we swung by Taco Bell to get Wyatt
Oh, that was
a
so
Baja
funny.
Blast, a
Oh,
single
yeah.
Baja Blast.
We pull up in the drive-through. There's like this car. My car's full of people, and they could see. They could see. And she's like, "Go ahead with your order," and I'm like, "Yeah, I
One
just need like a
Baja
large
Blast.
Baja Blast." And they're like, and then
And?
just pause. And she's like, "Is that it?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's it." And she's like, $1, like whatever. I don't even
Man.
remember.
Because
It was
why wasn't feeling up to the trip, so we can't just brought him back a Baja Blast, for old
singular
time's sake.
Baja
A singular
Blast,
Baja
yeah.
Blast from the source. So
That was awesome. Also, shout out to Craig fueling us with hard Baja Blasts, the booze version for the judges table at the doubles. We
wild.
went through 2 cases of those like instantly. Those were amazing.
Oh yeah,
I didn't have one of those. What the hell?
you were doing Rob
We're
stuff.
gone. He
That was
only
in
brought
and
he
out.
only brought it was like 2 8-packs, I think, is what they sell them in or something like that. And it's like we went through them fast.
They for sure have gluten in them. You can't drink those.
Yeah, they might.
I mean, dude, if Zima has gluten in it, this shit does.
That's
They were
true.
they were 0 sugar. Is that usually the decider?
Malt beverages are the thing,
Yeah, malt. Can't do
Oh.
malt generally.
Yeah, I think it is.
unless it's actually a Mountain Dew that just poured liquor in. That's one thing. It's
No,
co-
it's,
it's
it's
not.
not like a cut water. It's
not a cut
It's like a
water.
hard seltzer. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, so good show,
Rough.
guys. Looking forward to the future with you guys, 2024. Wyatt, you want to take us out of this podcast, please.
Rob?
So that's it for this one. What's my line? Did I do it
Head
again?
on over to
Head over to
longwar.nut.
longwar.nut for all the insider stuff.
See, you don't even need me anymore.
Dick pills, boner pills.
To your extent.
Exclusive content.
Get your
early
dick-
access.
get your
Longwar
dick
sponsored
pumped
by Circle
today.
K.
And P.S. We got nine sets of dice left. I think that's it. Buy it now.
All right, let's do a couple of raids on Twitch. If you're still following along on the YouTube Dumpster Fire Squadron, so we're gonna kick it over. Let's see who's on.
That's a great question.
Is Darling Creepshow painting? Let me see.
What's up? Let me get you a shout out.
Maybe, maybe not. Miniature painting. Let's see.
Divorced Dad's Digging Company. Oh my god.
There's a guy painting under that handle.
Oh, he's playing a game. It's just his handle is hilarious.
That's quite the handle.
Legion of Grey Plastic.
Legion of Grey
He-
Plastic
they're-
is on.
They're painting.
Let's see this.
Back from Adepticons.
Yeah, that's.
We
that's
did.
very
We
Legion of
did.
Grey.
Okay, we did Burning Clock Studios that one time. We got Legion of Grey Plastic.
What's he painting? Oh yeah.
He still painted Dreadnought, so
What's this guy
Wait.
painting?
I'd say
Is that-
let's do Legion.
Oh, I'm gonna have to search them.
Legion of Grey Plastic.
Oh, Legion of Grey. Okay. Cool. I see them.
Is that Sneaky Snufflers? That looks like Gloomspite gets.
All right, let's bring
All right.
the length, the girth, the positivity on over to Legion of Grey Plastic with a multi-raid, three-pronged attack called the Trident Formation. Don't let the tips touch on the way in.
Oh, whoops. I should probably do commands.
Yep. Raid deployed. That's all why I just
appreciate
rated
it
is.
so much. It's unexpected, my friend. Next level painting.
There we go.
Holy shit, dude. Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Three-pronged.
Everybody, please give Jack of Clubs and Next Level Painting a follow. They are
Let's wait for the long
both
war.
of those guys. Wyatt and Kenny
There we go.
are two of my earliest inspirations in,
Oh, this guy's so
in
nice.
miniature painting.
All right, thanks everyone for watching.